Harry is quite delusional. I believe that he behaves like an immature teenager that is still throwing one big epic tantrum. He's not listening. He is not listening to the fact that his father has made it very clear that it will not happen.
Absolutely glorious. They are our future. Prince William, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, returning to work in two separate engagements over the past 24 hours. And good Lord, they managed to put the drama to one side. But unfortunately, there is drama engulfing them. There is a reason why they have had to hire the country's top crisis management PR expert. And it is because King Charles refuses to end Prince Harry's dream of a half-in, half-out return to royal life. This was, of course, outlined by Harry and his allies in a bombshell Us Weekly magazine cover this week, and a pledge to Tom Sykes of The Royalist that Harry, as part of his concession to the king in order to return, will not launch any new legal actions against the UK press. But as Tom reveals, it is the offer to help out with royal duties that is really worth paying attention to. It shows that Harry has not given up on his dream of being half in and half out of the royal family and would like to do royal jobs again. We've seen this before. Harry has offered to step in and help, presenting himself as a kind of royal reserve player, suggesting that reliably triggers deep anxiety inside the palace. The last thing William wants is any revival of a half and half out model, but this kite flying raises the possibility that Harry thinks the king might be persuaded to think differently. The Us Weekly piece also underlines the personal cost of Harry's exile. Friends say he misses the structure, hierarchy, and meaning that royal life once imposed, even as he remains committed to his Californian existence with Meghan and their children. Would you know what I say to that? Diddums. Absolute diddums. You were warned. But I'm joined now by royal YouTube sensation, according to Taz. And of course, Tash, I mean, we're going to talk later about the fact that Harry is very close to returning to the UK for this ludicrous court case, which is going to see him on trial in the stand on Thursday, which will be catastrophic for the British royal family. So why do you think King Charles refuses to just say, it's not happening? You can keep speaking about this half-in, half-out dream all you want. And what do you make of the fact that Harry continues to push it so brazenly to Us Weekly just days before this court case, which could destroy his reputation?
Well, I believe that Harry is quite delusional. I believe that he behaves like an immature teenager that is still throwing one big epic tantrum. He's not listening. He is not listening to the fact that his father has made it very clear that it will not happen. There's so much to unpack here. I think there is a large part of it where the king, he is still his youngest son. He loves him. And I think he doesn't want the fighting to start again, but you cannot stick your head in the sand when it comes to Harry and Meghan. And in parts, I think there is a bit of it where he doesn't want this to play out in the public anymore. The mainstream media absolutely lap it up. Any chance that the king is going to make a public statement saying Harry and Meghan, much like the Queen, we wish them luck overseas, they're much loved family members, it will create a media storm, which Harry and Meghan will thrive off of, as will the typical media outlets that we're so used to seeing inundating us, Dan, every single day, it seems, with more of these nonsense stories where they're designed to turn the public against the royals.
Yes.
That's what these stories
Well,
are
and
done
also,
for.
Tash, even more than that, and I know you've pointed this out for a long time, bounce the royal family and bounce the British government into making decisions that were not even agreed upon, like Harry's security, like King Charles opening the Invictus Games. But the mainstream media reporting these delusions from Harry as if they are fact to try and paint a narrative which then becomes difficult, in Charles's view, for the royal family to walk away from. So I agree with you that the mainstream media is a huge part of this problem because they keep on printing Harry's delusions, Harry's lies, Harry's madness as if it's fact.
No, I completely agree. It's enabling
Mm,
this stupid, well, stupid's the wrong word, really. I mean, as I said, delusional, I think, is the best
mm.
way to look at it. But I think people that are genuine monarchists and genuinely support the royal family see through all of this. They see through it. They don't see Harry's return as a threat to Catherine and William. I certainly don't, and the fact that it's been pled that Harry is going to do it as an offering to the king by not suing any more media outlets. Well, that's a small pool left. He sued pretty much all of the big main media organizations. And I'm sorry, that doesn't affect the royals because Harry is the one that embarrasses himself. And he will do again on Thursday, like what you said, when he takes a stand. But I don't think it's damaging to the royal family anymore. I think it's just damaging to Harry. It's just embarrassing to him because, yet again, I don't believe he's going to stand there and actually have any credible evidence. Their credibility is completely shot in this country, and I would be shocked if this court case actually turns into a win. So I don't think the royals need to be worried about anything that Harry and Meghan do
Well,
anymore.
indeed. I mean, this is the problem, though. His reputation is on the line on Thursday. Actually, number one, the royals don't want Harry to destroy himself because they're actually kind people and they know his limitations and they know how intellectually weak he is. But also remember, he does remain in the line of succession. He does remain the king's son. So they're also acutely aware of the potential risk to the British royal family. But look, I do want to get to that court case in just one moment, Tash, because there have been huge developments on it. But first, can we talk about Catherine and William, please? Because as Tom
Yes.
Sykes said, they did flood the zone with keep calm and carry on vibes, with Prince Harry's legal case spiraling into an intimidation controversy. The Wales has had a curiously full day of drama-free engagements, and it was just wonderful to see. Like I said, the Prince and Princess of Wales were both out on public engagements, with friends telling royalists the couple did not want to be distracted from their duties by Harry's controversial court case. Good on them. Another irritation in the form of Prince Andrew, who is back in the news, was similarly swatted away by the couple's allies. And Sykes says the contrast between William, Catherine, and Harry could hardly have been sharper. While Harry returned to the High Court to continue his long-running war with the British press, William was photographed pruning trees on a farm visit in a flat cap. I know, Tash, you were quite taken by those images of Harry. While Catherine
William.
brought the glamour, didn't she? With a full-fat Windsor Castle reception for the British women's rugby team, the Red Roses, who won the World Cup last September. So, Tash, before we get to these individual engagements, it's very important, isn't it, at the moment that we do see William and Catherine doing what the royal family are meant to. And they are brilliant sometimes at just putting the drama to one side and bringing the attention back to the good deeds, the good people of Britain, the good people of the Commonwealth. And thank God for it, given all of the drama elsewhere.
They represent this country and the monarchy on a global stage, and they do it extremely well. They spend a lot of time on causes that are so important. I mean, the work that Prince William is doing with farming minds and drawing attention to the farming community is now needed more than ever. Catherine being the patron of the England Roses, I mean, there were some wonderful photographs, and you can tell that she was incredibly happy to welcome them to Windsor Castle. They were happy to be there. And these are the sorts of joyful events that you want to see. You want to see them using their platform to elevate others, to celebrate the England Roses after winning the Rugby World Cup, to then also celebrate the hard work that farmers do every single day. And the fact that Prince William is constantly highlighting that these people are often forgotten about. And this is where the royals do their job well. They give voices to people that necessarily wouldn't have them. They remind people of the incredible jobs that farmers do just by Prince William going there. And Harry and Meghan, they're just insignificant. I think that Prince William and Catherine don't even care about them anymore. I think that they are indifferent to them. The royals have shown that they never needed Harry and Meghan. They were barely there long enough to scratch the surface, Dan. I think Meghan spent longer, I think she did more engagements on the royal tour than she did throughout her entire career, that she was briefly part of the royal family. Their little more than just an ink blot in the history pages, Meghan especially. Harry only handled being a full-time working royal for, I think, 2 years more than what until Meghan came on the scene. Bearing in mind, he only left the army, I think it was 2014 or 15. So they've hardly had a long-term royal career. And the brief time that they were there, they've turned the public against them. They've destroyed all public goodwill. People don't associate them anymore with being members of the royal family. Catherine and William and the King, the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh don't need to keep calm and carry on because Harry and Meghan simply no longer matter.
There were some lovely moments with Catherine because she looked so wonderful, but apparently she'd arrived in her own car and this was her leaving Windsor. Watch this.
Move, quick, look.
Just effortless glamour, isn't it? And then she revealed a bit of news about George and rugby.
I do not want to get tackled by George, but no, up to a certain age, I think it's great. And sports like swimming at school is still very much encouraged. Actually being able to incorporate rugby into play time and games is really good.
And the Red Roses were delighted. Watch.
I think we asked if Charlotte plays any rugby, and she said that she actually does want to play rugby, but she's not in school yet. But the two boys are involved in rugby and love it, and the game of rugby, what it brings to people, and as an individual, but also as families, is something that she's very bought into. So it's nice to see that, you know, rugby is in the royal family as well, because we know how much we value it, but to see them value it as well is, huge respect.
And Royally Bell posted the Princess of Wales drove herself to Windsor Castle this afternoon to host a reception for the England women's rugby team in an Alexander McQueen suit and stilettos. Iconic. I mean, Tash, that was iconic, wasn't it?
She is. She's so down to earth. And she's literally walking into a castle to host the women's rugby team. And she just casually walking in with a brolly. You know, I think the people love Catherine so much is because she's so simple. It's the simplicity around her. There's no drama. There's no airs and graces. She just is graceful, kind, sweet, always looks lovely, always looks impeccable. And she's always got a big grin on her face. And people are so excited to spend time with her. And I can't blame them either. I think I'd be grinning ear to ear if ever I had the opportunity to meet the Princess of Wales.
Obviously, this was in stark contrast to what was going on in the High Court, Tash, and this is incredibly serious and a huge contrast. And of course, Harry is heading to the United Kingdom. The case versus the Daily Mail is due to begin on Monday. Now, a couple of caveats. Do you remember in his previous case against News UK? Now, I was actually due to give evidence against Prince Harry in court, and I was prepared to do so because he's lying, and I was very happy to do so, even though it's never a nice thing to do, to give evidence in any type of courtroom, under any type of circumstances. But I was prepared to do it, and I'd gone through all of my preparation. And then on the morning of the case due to begin, Harry came to this last-minute settlement with Rupert Murdoch. And the judge was absolutely furious because the case was delayed, a huge amount of money wasted. So the first thing I'll say is that Monday morning is going to be critical, isn't it? Does the case actually begin, Tash? Is he just turning up to hope to be there for a settlement where he'll read some type of boastful statement on the courtroom steps? I don't know, though, because in terms of all of the public briefing, Associated Newspapers, which is, of course, the owner of the Daily Mail and the Mail on Sunday, saying, absolutely not. You're lying. This is just not true. We're not settling. If there is no settlement, Tash, we will build towards one of the most critical days in the recent history of the royal family, which is Thursday, where Prince Harry is expected on the stand for the entire day, where he will be cross-examined by the Daily Mail. And given his propensity to lie, let's hope Harry doesn't commit perjury, right? I mean, what are you expecting?
expect Harry to tell his truth and nothing but his truth. The problem is, Dan, as we know, Harry's truth is not the actual truth. I don't think, in all honesty, from everything I've been reading, much like what happened with the last court case, that A&L are going to give him a settlement. Their main witness in all of this, Gavin Burrows, has been making it exceptionally clear that he never did any work for the Daily Mail or for the Mail on Sunday. And we know there's obviously a lot of things surrounding Gavin Burrows, the forgery, and a lot of other accusations, which I'm sure you'll go into. But I cannot see A&L going, yeah, do you know what? We will pay them off. We will pay them off. They are saying absolutely hands down that they have not done anything wrong. And I think you're right that Harry probably is that delusional, that he thinks he's got them by the short and curlies and they're going to back down because he's had it happen before. But I think they're dealing with a very different kettle of fish when it comes to this particular court case. Daily Mail, A&L, they are saying that they have not done anything, and they are absolutely not. I would be shocked if they give him, and then of course the 6 other claimants, a payout, because as this case has got closer and closer to starting, we've been finding out more and more things that have been coming out that makes me believe this case is built on sand.
And let me take you through some of this new reporting from what actually went on in court. Because this case is dirty, Tash, and Harry is relying on criminals. I'm not exaggerating here. Actual criminals, right? Actual phone hackers he is relying on in this court case. And I think it could end up being devastating for him. I mean, look at this headline. Prince Harry's lawyers accused of dishonesty, fraud, and conspiracy. Allegations include payments for sworn evidence and the deliberate creation of a misleading email chain. Now, Tom Sykes has reported that a witness accuses Harry's team of intimidating him. This is Gavin Burrows, who you mentioned. And he outlined pre-trial hearings are usually pretty dry affairs. But today's gathering at the High Court in London, ahead of Prince Harry, Baroness Lawrence and Sir Elton John's case against the publisher of the Daily Mail, exploded into high drama as a key witness alleged he was being intimidated by Prince Harry's legal team, and Harry's legal team said they were being unfairly accused of fraud and dishonesty by the Mail's lawyers. So, as Tash points out, Gavin Burrows is this private investigator who was on Harry's side but has since recanted his evidence and alleged that his signature on a key witness statement saying he...
One of the biggest talking points in recent weeks has been the question of whether Prince Harry and Meghan Markle could ever return as working members of the royal family. Since stepping back from royal duties in 2020, the couple have built a new life in California, pursuing media ventures, charitable work, and business partnerships. However, recent commentary suggests that any possibility of resuming official royal responsibilities has become increasingly remote. While Buckingham Palace has made no formal announcement on the matter, many royal observers believe that the institution has moved forward with its current structure. That perception has become the foundation of much of the current debate. Royal commentators argue that the relationship between Harry and senior members of the royal family remains strained. Years of public interviews, documentaries, and Harry's memoir have brought deeply personal family disagreements into the public eye. Many analysts believe rebuilding trust after such high-profile disputes would be an enormous challenge. Others, however, point out that family relationships are often more complicated than media headlines suggest, and reconciliation can happen gradually over time. For now, there is little public evidence that a significant breakthrough has occurred. Another major theme involves King Charles III and Prince William. Commentators suggest that both men are focused on maintaining stability within the monarchy while preparing for its future. Some believe that reopening discussions about Harry returning to a working royal role could create new challenges for the institution. Others argue that the royal family's priority remains carrying out official duties while minimizing unnecessary public controversy. Without direct statements from the palace, these interpretations remain informed speculation based on reporting and royal analysis. Despite ongoing speculation, Harry and Meghan continue to build their lives outside the royal family. Their work now includes charitable initiatives, business ventures, public speaking engagements, and media productions. Supporters see this as evidence that the couple is creating an independent future on their own terms. Critics argue that many of their projects continue to rely heavily on public interest in their royal connections. Either way, it is clear that their relationship with the monarchy remains central to public discussion. Perhaps the biggest unanswered question is whether reconciliation remains possible. Some royal experts believe that time and changing circumstances could eventually create opportunities for healing. Others argue that the disagreements have become so public that rebuilding trust will require significant effort from all sides. History has shown that relationships within the royal family have experienced periods of tension before eventually improving. Whether that happens in this case remains uncertain. Stories involving Harry and Meghan continue to dominate headlines because they represent more than just a family disagreement. They touch on broader issues involving tradition, public service, personal independence, media influence, and the changing role of the modern monarchy. For supporters, Harry and Meghan represent individuals who chose a different path despite enormous pressure. For critics, they symbolize a couple whose public actions have made reconciliation increasingly difficult. These competing perspectives help explain why every new report generates such passionate reactions. One important aspect of stories like this is distinguishing between verified facts and commentary. While reports often cite unnamed sources familiar with royal affairs, many conclusions about private conversations, emotions, and future plans remain impossible to verify publicly. Royal commentators frequently interpret events differently depending on their perspectives. That makes it especially important for viewers to consider multiple sources before drawing conclusions. Whether Prince Harry and Meghan Markle eventually reconcile with the royal family or continue forging their own path remains one of the biggest unanswered questions surrounding the modern monarchy. Recent commentary suggests that hopes for a return to official royal duties are fading, but much of that discussion remains based on interpretation rather than confirmed decisions. As always, the truth is likely to emerge gradually through future events rather than dramatic headlines. Now we'd like to hear from you. Do you believe reconciliation between Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, and the royal family is still possible, or do you think both sides have permanently moved on? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest coverage of the royal family, Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, King Charles, and all the biggest royal stories making headlines. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.